we're going to be getting into the fifth line, the heretic, conscious and unconscious universalization. So as the fourth line is externalizing to the people they know, the fifth line is universalizing it to the world. So we're going to start off with gate 10 as the behavior. So it's the heretic. On the design side, the nature is to be a heretic, whereas on the personality side, it's the behavioral identity to be a heretic.
So the fourth line is stuck in their network, wishing they could be the heretic.
No,
Yep.
you don't. No, you don't.
No, I know, but you know how it is. That's funny. Yeah, you're right. No, I don't. But everything,
Being a heretic is rough.
yeah, it is. Moni's a 3-5, so it's in her unconscious, so it's always showing up.
It sure
It's
does.
in her nature, not in her behavior. Yeah, it's funny.
Yep.
And there's just such a striking difference from where we left, where your opportunities are coming from your network, period. That's where your opportunities come from. If you seek outwardly for them, you don't find them. But here, go wherever, because your opportunities are going to come universally. It's not like they're not still looking for an opportunity to influence, an opportunity to be unique as themselves. This is upper trigram transpersonal.
And
So
like people you don't know, whereas like the fourth line does well with people they do know. And I'm like, I do better probably with people I don't know.
right, right. I mean, that's one of the ways to look at it. Or people, right, exactly. Fifth lines are going to have a much smaller imprint of their friends, most likely, but not always. They tend to have more limited groups because they've got to be more practical. This heretic, as it relates to the design and then the behavioral identity, is well, the picture up there, the general, is the thing that puts out to the world essentially, even if it's within their network, they're speaking more universally. The heretic is the person who, for whom the other receives the message more universally. I could say a message one way, and you could say the same message, and yours is received more universally, and mine is received like the networker that, good, that's friendly Dan.
Received or rejected more universally.
Right, right. Thank you for that. Exactly. When mine's rejected, I just abdicate and be like, no, that's okay. We'll talk tomorrow, maybe, or something, because I'm fixed. I'm still coming
When
back.
mine's rejected, I get burnt at the stake.
Yeah, or you bounce quick.
Yeah.
So before
Yes.
that, right, right. Um,
Bounce or get burned.
Bounce or burn, baby. So why does the heretic burn? Because people are projecting upon it. This is a line of projection. It's the most severe of the two. And where is it? Where is its harmony? Its harmony is in the hermit. No wonder the hermit's projection field goes and isolates. It knows better accidentally. This knows it would like to, but it can't because the projection field is from the other onto it, that it will be a saint, that it will be a general, that it will be standing up in the moment of crisis. Fifth line's part of their heresy is when they're trying to do stuff outside of crisis. They need a crisis in order for their general to come out. And also, yeah. And also, the heretic itself is a heretic because they bring, if you're universalizing and you're a man or woman on this God's green earth, you are unique. The chances of your stuff being heretical to other people is very high. Heretical just means we don't do it that way here. We're the kingdom with the butter side up, not the buttered side down. You're a heretic for bringing something new. Ra would tell the story of the heretic as just the person who's the stranger who comes into town and tells everyone, hey, there's going to be a flood. You have to build an ark. And all the villagers, well, they go up to the sixth line, which we'll get to next to get corroboration. But if the message is heretical enough, they might build that ark. Now, if the rain doesn't come, they're going to get burned at the stake. They're going to say it's all your fault because their capacity to get everyone to build the ark is what their projection field is able to push back out from being projected upon in the first place. He didn't come in and just start saying that. He came in and started saying that as soon as he had passed through the aura of a few of the people and received their projection. And then he started saying it. That's the practical matter. So he received their projection. He started saying it. He may have planned to do it all along, but it didn't matter. It was the projection field that made the others line up. I can't get that done as a mere externalizer. If you get that wrong, you're a heretic. Also, in the not self world, routinely, if you get it even a little bit wrong, you're burned at the stake. If you don't even live up to what they project on you and you never even agreed to it, you're a heretic and they will besmirch you. The heretic and this nature and this behavioral identity is willing to stand there and do it anyway. At the end of the day, this is that. I'm sorry, I bring the universal truth. I'm bringing my truth, and that behavioral identity becomes a fairly steadfast thing. And if it gets burned at the stake too much, it's got to get out of Dodge. And if it turns out to be the right universalizer, it gets praised with all of the glory. The
Hmm.
general won the day. And it's too bad there's not a lot more in between on that, you know.
Yeah.
Just realize this is a projection field upon you. The others projecting upon you that you will save them in crisis, that you will be what they want, that whatever about their hopes and dreams. And I mean, it's that profound. It is their actual hopes and dreams. They just don't know it that way because most of the things are mundane in nature. You're not looking for your hopes and dreams because you're hoping they'll come through and take you to the store, like because they're counting on you to help them in a crisis because they got a flat tire. They're not exactly putting their hopes and dreams on you at that moment, but that's the energy pouring out of them. I hope and I dream that Moni will get here and take me to the store because my car won't work. I need all the things. Now you're even projecting all the good things you're going to get. And that's get puts on Moni. Moni's like, I'm not part of all the good things you were dreaming about that you now can't get because I got stuck in a snowbank, you know, and that would be you. You get stuck in a snowbank potentially, and now you can't get there. That person very likely is putting a projection on Moni that is totally unfair in that moment. And you've got to
Yeah.
realize that. And if you're a fifth line, that's how you navigate who's your friend or not. Your friends don't do that to you. They've learned to know who you are. And the ones who don't know you well, they do that to you. Watch and witness and recognize universally, almost everyone, with very few exceptions, approaches you without seeing you. They see what they want you to be. That's why I said the hopes and dreams part is wicked important. They see what they're genetically inside of them becomes their hopes and dreams for more love and communion and purpose and beauty and abundance. Those are their hopes and dreams. The master keynote describes it. And that's what they want out of you. And you can't allow that. And you have to recognize it and you have to cut it off. Hey, are you expecting more from me? Are you saying I didn't give enough? Please be very clear. This is practical language the fifth line can use in these moments to help at least get it right. They may still get burned at a stake, but at least they can get it right because they will go and they won't have a big chip on their shoulder too terribly much when they know they were right.
So next up, we have gate 7. So this is that role in interaction. So the role in interaction is the general. Danny has already talked about this. And so on the design side, the type is the general, whereas on the personality side, it's the projected attitude of the general.
If it's in your design side, the general shows up upon request, maybe. And on the personality side, it's what you're projecting out. You're sort of gonna, and you can see it, you're interacting. The general is that cat who does save the day. That's all they are. The general is the person who's supposed to show up, do the thing, and then, as the story would go back to the farm. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do so that they get out of the projection field. This is where both the heretic and the general is where you learn so quickly get into the projection field and then get out. Fifth lines have to be practical and it's an experiment. So I don't want you thinking you have to spend a whole life now leaving every party after the first 20 minutes. That's not how it goes. It's after they're your friends, you don't have to. But in the beginning, the strategy, just so you can see it and play with this and use it as an awareness to become more aware of your nature and your type so that you see more of your behavioral identity and projected attitude as the rest of the world is seeing it from your costume. Allow yourself to see where they're projecting that on you, where you're in such a place that it's not practical to stick around because you're now running out of your general. The general runs out. And if it runs out too fast, you're not in the right crowd because those are the people projecting upon you. Hey, where's that general? We need more of it. Why aren't you enough of it? The general storms in with guns blazing to fix the day, dude. He saves the damsel in distress. That's what the general is. And you can't let people give that to you. What do you think, Moni?
Archetype of the general and like how people react to us. I mean, it's amazing when we have the right thing. When the correct projection is upon us and we know what is being projected on us and what you want from us. And it's like, yeah, I can totally deliver that. Like, I can be your general and deliver you this specific thing. But if we're being projected upon and we don't know what that is, or we don't know what somebody expects from us, then we can't satisfy that projection and then we'll mess it all up and then everyone will be mad for us.
And that creates a great piece of awareness that you can sense coming on when you're in a group or with a person projecting the unhealthy projection that's got all these expectations, or the healthy projection that knows you're you and is not going to hold you responsible for any of it, right? Doesn't this help you navigate that? That's why I say these two pieces of it from the gate 7, which we went over in depth on the last episode, and from the gate 10, where all profiles are derived, this is a way for you to see they're projecting too much on me. That's your clue to get out of Dodge. That's your
Yeah.
clue to not accept the dang projection. Whoa, 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 hold on. No, no, I got to get to work tonight. I'm late for it right now. I'm wicked sorry. Try calling Dave. Love you. Bye. That's practical. Love you. Bye is a fourth line thing. So whatever, but I
Yeah,
added
yeah.
it in.
No, the practical thing is really important, and like the getting out of Dodge thing, that's definitely a thing that's super important is the fifth line is if you are being projected on and you can provide a practical solution, like provide the practical solution and get out of the room, like get out of Dodge and leave. And the same thing, if you're being projected on and you can't provide that, like get out of Dodge. It's like you're not going to win. So it's like either like provide what you can that's practical and save the day and leave, or it's like this is not the right place for me because I can't satisfy what you're projecting onto me, so get out of the way.
Listen to your strategy and authority here deeply. It will show you and you will see the unhealthy projections. And it doesn't mean don't go through those unhealthy projections. You're in a life. You might have to walk squarely right through it. But you can set boundaries and recognize, hey, that's you projecting on me, and come up with language to put people at bay when it's needed. Just casually and in the moment as yourself. So, hey, I didn't promise I would do all that stuff, but I can't always do all the things. Are you expecting me to? That type of thing that puts them. I'm quoting from Chase Hughes, by the way, because he's so good at returning the thing, and I've captured some of his language. So, the general, we can move on.
So next up, we have gate 13. So this is the witness, the storyteller, the storykeeper. And so this is the savior, which on the design, the unconscious side, the memory of being the savior, whereas on the personality side, it's the limited perspective of being the savior. So that's going to be an interesting one to explore.
Remember, all gates start with their first line. When we get into more gate theory, just generally speaking, we will notice the foundation of every gate, all 64 hexagrams. The foundation is the first line. The foundation determines the basic essence of the foundation of that whole hexagram, clearly. The foundation here is empathy. My limited perspective as a savior, I have to have enough empathy to listen. Remember, it's empathetic to listen because the other person's about to pour out their energy and you have to stop what you're doing. Empathy needs to come in to care for them to some degree, to create that story we were talking about and be the colorful storyteller at the end of it all, just like the 56 does. It's funny, we have two gates going in that very same circuitry, one on the top of the throat, one on the bottom. The forces were very, very interested in making sure we were telling all the stories. The short-term stories in 56, the long-term historical artifacts and facts of gate 13. So it doesn't want to miss anything. I'm just noticing that as something that's really cool. Memory. This just comes out in I know that I'm listening. And the savior part of it becomes I know I've listened. And as I listen, I notice you're projecting upon me that my listening is somehow saving you. The expectation and the projection is that always, the expectation is always you're going to do something about it. Be careful on the stories you listen to and the people that intimately you allow to basically bend your ear too much. Because as soon as they tell you, the expectation now is that you're also going to do something about it. What, Moni? Speak.
That just kind of blew my mind. Like as a, fifth line on my unconscious design side, it is. It's just like if I listen too long to somebody, then it's like, oh no, what do you expect of me? What do you want from me? So the
Right,
way you
right.
said that, it was just like, wow for me.
And then it becomes a memory that you now have to deal with. It's the memory of I should have left. It's all of this stuff that shows up quickly as memory. It's just a thing because right before it was fatigue. This is the memory that I get fatigue, but not you. It's not so much fatigue. It's like I got to get out because now it's expectation. So this becomes expectation fatigue. Remember, foundations set the theme, set a theme. Limited perspective side, again, the reason it's called limited perspective is because this is where we limit ourselves. We only have so much. You only have so much empathy. I only have so much savior. It was obvious in the fourth line. I get fatigued. Clearly, there's a limit. I am limited in my empathetic listening because that's what 13 does. That's why it draws in all the secrets. You go to the 13 in a body graph, that's where empathy arises. The limited perspective can be said another way. Our role in our openness. Same for the design side, the memory, our role in our openness to what we just heard because it came out of a tunnel, showed up that I'm listening. Oh my God, I am listening to this, our role in our openness to the other. This gate 13 and all of these roles we have is the home of the inside face, the face that you only have when you're studying something or you're looking at something and your brow furls and you've got all these things. It's the face that you don't expect other people to capture so easily. They'd have to walk in the room and capture you not noticing them. It's the face that you change the second you do notice someone is looking at you. It's all here on the face. Yes, you go from that to that. Hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? You
Yeah,
were
when
in
you
here.
see
Hey,
that's when I do like dance and performances, it's like when you see someone has a camera, you're gonna turn on like the extra smile and the extra little
totally.
spunk and awareness. Yeah.
Totally, but you might be totally fatigued. Hey, you've been asking me to save your perfect picture spot the whole time. Take your picture, I'm done.
Do the
And
thing, I
don't
want to
expect me
go.
to be, yeah, don't expect me to do this for another hour type thing. Oh no,
Well,
we
they do
expect you
though.
to, yeah, save us, be the savior in my empathy as to what I've just told you. You were empathetic. I'm projecting upon you that you were the most empathetic. And I'm using the word empathy of listening because that's the foundation, but I don't have the words for it. It's just that's what I'm sensing. And now they put all that on you. And if it's the wrong people and they're all not self, that's voodoo they put on you because you carry with it in your memory. You
Oh,
carry it with it through your limited perspective. You're already limiting it. And if that's all there was there, that's voodoo. No good. Don't let them put that voodoo on you and you tell them. And your real friends won't do this. More amazing awareness that you get to look in on to show you who's right for you and who isn't. Make a checklist if you're a fifth line of these things. Go through your friends and do a scale of 1 to 10. This cat puts me through this like on 11. That's it. Outer ring with you,
eh,
fourth line outer ring. This one does it medium. This one, I'm going to call this one. I think I can share this information with one cat. Let me go call that one and talk about it, closer
mhm.
and closer into you. So everyone's got a ring system in this upper trigram because the foundation was set by the fourth line. There's a different one, but everyone's got the rings now
Mhm.
because it's there in the world. Set up your rings 1 through 10, put people in them, however that works for you, and make a list if you're a fifth line so you can do the practical thing of getting people into the outer limits where they belong because they're always bringing mayhem and fatigue and savior syndrome and general fatigue and the heretic freaking getting all burned and expectation and hopes and dreams. Get your hopes and dreams out of my life. I didn't ask you to do that.
Stop trying to help me have you save my everything. I don't want to
Right,
save you, especially if I don't know what you expect me to do to save you.
right. And it's just getting old and you're not quite my friend. You're the wanter of something. It's okay. You might come back in a few more rings because I'm designed to find hope and communion and all that stuff. So I'll be open. My role in openness is limited, right? Listen to these words go together. I have a limited perspective with my openness, but I open enough. It's not zero. You can make your way back in or me back to you one way or another so that we don't have to pretend that there's hatred, but I'm not keeping you close if you keep doing that.
So next up we have gate 1, and so this is the creative and creative expressions. This is attractiveness. On the design side, it's the direction of attractiveness, whereas on the personality side, it's the aspired to role of attractiveness.
Notice the thing that is where we're sexy is also where we're creative. All of it is sexy to the other. Just keep that in mind. Add that as a keynote to the fifth line. All fifth lines everywhere in our current world where we are in bioforms is a form of attractive, sexy, appealing. It's just immediate appeal. And that attractiveness, you can tell these fifth line people. Go look at any of your fifth line friends and watch how many times they walk out of the house into public, not put together, not put together. It'll happen. If you're a vessel, maybe it'll happen. If you're a couple of the crosses, a little more than less, but mostly they're always putting themselves together. Attractiveness is their thing. They want their pleats tucked in. They would like their cuffs right.
It's
Just a
gotta look
thing.
nice.
Yes, they just want to look nice and they can't help it. They're not even thinking about that. They're just doing the thing. That attractiveness attracts. And the thing is, aspire to roll. Where are we? We're in gate 1. Gate 1, the yang, the creative. And so this is where we aspire to be our unique selves, that thing that all of these other behaviors serves. Technically, even the heretic serves partly the aspire to role, and the aspire to role serves the heretic because they're both individual gates. So these ones talk together an awful lot, and they are here for a type of heresy, and it starts with a certain amount of attractiveness. You know what happens when you're too attractive? All the other people talk about you behind your back. That's a common thing. Or one way, shape, or form try to sully a reputation. That happens. Those aren't your friends out into the outer rings or beyond. Realize that when you're being the attractive, it's showing up in all of your creative pursuit. Aspire to is I want to contribute this, my uniqueness, out of my yang gate that has all of my creativity rolled up in this beautiful moment that shows up for me. So it's prettiness and attractiveness in what you just painted. It's attractiveness in how you put on your display because you're a server. It's your attractiveness, and it is your look at my creative presentation. Dude, it's just green eggs and ham. I know, but it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Well, if we're always going to be projected upon, it's like you have to put your best foot forward. Because
Absolutely.
otherwise
And
they're gonna be like, look at this slub. Look at this like
yes.
nothing.
And as you put your best foot forward, it becomes the attractiveness. And this is your creativity is wrapped up in making it look good. That's not to say your creativity is vain. It's not it at all. You could be Einstein with suddenly the moment of creation of E equals MC squared. And he is spending his time making the right Roman letters for it before he sends it off to his friend to look at it. It's not just if he was a fifth line in that way, he would make sure there was little doodads on those letters to make it the
A
right
little
calligraphy.
filigree, a little
Yes,
flair.
yes, and that the words they use when they write poetry are pretty. Everything is about this attractiveness that they are. And so it has nothing to do with vanity of creation. It has everything to do with how they create and where their unique creative self is. The melancholy in gate one, of course, is that I'm not unique and no one sees me as unique. I can't get my uniqueness out. So just take that as the truth for why this is so important. And we do aspire to it. If we don't aspire, we become sad. And the sadness is there to remind you, hey, aspire to something yourself, not what I ask you to be, what your strategy and authority ultimately guides you to. We're here in a consciousness field, and the consciousness field is pinged and rang and struck so that everyone else hears it most admirably through this attractiveness that aspires to do something creative. If your mind gets involved, you're just doing it for the sake of attracting. If your mind's not involved and you're just being yourself, the attractiveness is natural and you can't miss it. Can't miss it. By the way, of course, this attractiveness is why fifth lines are seen as sexy. It's literally, you can correlate attractiveness to being sexy, and it'll show up again and when we get to the 59.
Now we have gate 59, which is about sexuality. This is intimacy. This is the seducer and the seduced. So on the design side, the sexuality presents as the seducer or the seduced on this body expression, whereas on the personality side, it's the bonding strategy of the seducer or the seduced.
On the design side, this is what shows up. That's why in the sexuality, when I said suddenly you find out you're being friends or not, here, same thing. Suddenly you find out you're in the seducer and seduced role because it's onsetting itself upon you because someone found you attractive and they basically projected upon you that you're going to save them and that you're a good listener and that you can get stuff done. And suddenly that's attractive. And then suddenly they're feeling seduced by you or they're trying to seduce you. And it's happening all the time with fifth lines. One of the reasons they have to duck out and hide behind the curtain on the second floor, peering out. Remember the image in the house. The fourth line is on the second floor, just period, networking with people, and it's open to public, it's open for business. And you can see in there, you can look up and see, oh, let me get up there. That looks like the right place to go to a restaurant. Let's eat up there. But the fifth line is that restaurant with all the cachet that you're not even sure if you need a reservation for. And that's the fifth line is in one of the side rooms on that second floor, looking down on everything and just pulling the curtain back enough so that other people are looking up, wondering what's in there. What's in there? That's how the attraction field is in everyone. Everyone's always like, "Ooh, what is that?" Me, the natural, I have a projection field, but they're not looking for attractiveness. They're just like, "Oh, that creative little bugger. What is he into?" It's not leading to attractiveness necessarily. It might. You never know. I'm shy, and if they knock on my window enough, maybe they'll call me out sexually and intimately and bondingly. But mostly, it's just that's interesting. The heretic is, oh, my hopes and dreams are looking up there, and they don't even know that this word keynote of hopes and dreams is embedded in it. It's absolute. It's not like a fanciful thing that they one hope and one dream. It's all of them. They are projecting that on you, pertinent to the moment and beyond. Hopes and dreams, like I said, Moni's going to get me to the store. But this seduction, anyways, back to that. This is how you bond. You see it coming, and don't let it let you think you're shallow, and don't let it think you're Don Juan always and only that way, and that's how you're going to get by in life, because you'll be very unhappy it won't be very attractive. You'll be very unhappy. Not the right people are being saved for you. You're not the right heretic anymore, the right general. Your nature isn't showing up as the person who's consequential. They're only consequential in that. So be very careful, because this is a genetic strategy to make more, to make babies. First and foremost, never forget that. 59, first and foremost, make a baby. Just make a baby already. Hurry up. Puberty, yeah, go make a baby. Literally, genes don't care. If it's viable and it can come out alive, they're very happy. This seduction can get super personal, and I ask you not to take it too personally. Witness it as an energy and allow it for when it's right. So it's not an ugly seduction. The seductions turn ugly quickly if you're not being yourself.
Next up, we have gate 27, which is the distributor and the hoarder. So on the design side, the humanity shows up as the distributor or the hoarder, where it's on the personality side, it's the security strategy of the distributor or the hoarder.
And notice on all these upper trigram, basically the humanity of them all, because this becomes our security strategy in gate 27. That is, when we get into this upper trigram, you see this distributor hoarder thing that appears to be more as it relates to everyone else. And that's what's supposed to happen here. Its humanity and how it cares is something that just shows up. It's always distributing the resources. Again, they're going to have the same themes as set by the foundation line of line 4. So the benefactor is the distributor. They're pretty much the same thing, except this is a distributor that is attractive and potentially seductive. Oh, they're going to distribute all the goods. But the benefactor is just going to teach me, and he loves me, and he's a friend, and it's confidant or not. So it's not the same seduction at all. One is very seductive, and the distributor turns into the hoarder when they think they don't have enough, when their not self says, I am in a lack mentality, when my not self says, I'm on that lower vibration, that's all I need, not I love to have, not I give. And then they become the hoarder, and they hoard everything. However, there is a natural flow to this. You have to be a hoarder once in a while to basically, this is tribal after all. Once in a while, you have to circle your wagons, but then the hoarder can turn extreme, and suddenly you end up with a house where you can't even move in or out of.
Yeah, it's kind of like you need to take inventory and like, what do I have? Because in order to distribute it, you have to know what you have. So you kind of have to like collect stuff to then be able to distribute it when appropriate. But yeah, if it goes into like a weird misaligned place, then yeah, you're hanging on to too much, or you're hoarding and not distributing. And then you have, like you just said, a house where you can't like function in.
Yeah, if you were the hoarder, not the distributor, soon you're the heretic, and you're not the general or the person they're coming to with their pitchforks to get what you're hoarding. And you're definitely not the
Mm.
savior, and they're not telling you stuff anymore. And you're definitely not attractive, although someone in the crowd will still find you attractive in some kind of kinky way, but you better not run off with them unless you're getting out of Dodge.
And it's going to get weird.
And it's going to get really weird.
Next up, we have gate 6, which is selflessness or selfishness. So on the design body side, this the wave resonance, whereas on the personality, it's the emotional resonance of selflessness or selfishness.
This is our emotional capacity to become selfish for ourselves and or to give. It's the same thing as the hoarder that starts to distribute. Now it's selfless. But look at these words. Oh, I'm projecting upon them that they're going to distribute the goods, that they're the selfless one. Well, go pound sand. I don't have to live, again, a threadbare, selfless life. I can be selfless at the practical moments that I want, not because you projected it upon me. So this is about learning the selflessness that is right for you, because selflessness is just another word in a way for altruistic. I'll just give it to them. I love it. We have enough. Selfless, distribute, to give, and all of it, again, with these, notice the roles as it relates to the G center are these sort of one word things. And as it relates to when we get down below, it's a back and forth, more of a genetic process.
Oh, that's a neat observation. Yeah.
Well, it's always been that way, because the 4 ones on top are these behaviors. They're not meant yet for the genetic role to seduce, to make more, to distribute, to tribal, to this, to that. They're not tribal. There are directional roles.
So there's just a direction that it's going in with the identity to the throat with these top 4, whereas the bottom 4 have this like this and this because it's
Mm-hmm.
this tribal dynamic. That's cool. That's a really cool observation. Thanks for that one.
Yep. It's all tribal, so it's different. So one of the things, so this wave resonance, this emotional awareness, is the awareness that I'm feeling supportive. and the selflessness more comes out. By the way, this selflessness, when you see it in the tribal resonance of this emotional thing, it's talking very closely to the 1949 to synthesis. It's talking very closely to the resonance of that is the 3740, and it's becoming supportive of you if it's right. And then you'll see all kinds of selflessness. And the selfishness is no different than the kindness and meanness. It starts to fall into the meanness when it gets to be too much. Of course, the meanness feels personal. The selfishness is just trying to hide away so that you can't have it. It's not trying to announce its selfishness. It's just trying to not give. That may be correct for it. Give or
Well,
don't give.
well, and it's like it very much mirrors the above of distributor or hoarder. It's very similar of selflessness, selfishness, and it's like, yeah, you got to have to collect something in order to give it away, but if you collect it so much and don't give it away, then it gets into that weird selfish hoarder place.
Yep, yep. And as a wave resonance, it's meant to give the emotional meaning and the emotional sense to find the spirit of the bonds of the community, the spirit of the bonds within the community. I'm keynoting 59 with 55, clearly, for obvious reasons, they're in opposition, becomes the spirit of my selflessness or the emptying of the spirit into my selfishness, depending because sometimes it is just practical to be a little bit selfish. I only got two of these left. You can't have one.
I need to drink this water. You need to find your own.
That could very well be. And or just like, no, like these are my favorite candies. I'm not giving one up. I only got two. If I had five or six, I'd definitely give you one. I only got two. I'm hungry. They're mine. I'm sorry. It's not the end of the world, but just recognize this movement back and forth. You need a little of each, just like the transferences inside of our motivations. We need to do it. Don't let one distract you from being the other if it's not in line with your strategy and authority. As with all of these binaries that go back and forth.
And then last up, we have gate 50, which is
Mhm.
discipline and rebellion. So on the design side, this body side, the frequency resonance is discipline or rebellion. And on the personality side, it's the awareness resonance of discipline and rebellion.
We're on gate 50. The tribal values. Everything here is a big deal. Remember the tribal fear in gate 50 is the fear of too much responsibility. They have to have the discipline to not take it on. And or they have to fifth line general savior, attract everyone else, seduce them into doing it because they have to hoard stuff because it's not going right. It's time to be selfish and we need rebellion. That can happen. This rebellion is against the need for discipline because the general's already on the right side of things, or it's rebellion as a not self that just wants to hoard and selfishly seduce into something that is not even for them. The discipline is also being disciplined. This is where the heretic can get burnt. The tribal values may say, bad heretic here, and now dole out discipline, which is the burning at the stake part that the heretic always gets as a fifth line profile. If it's on your design side, again, this stuff just sort of shows up for you. And if it's on the personality side, you see it as an awareness, a splenic awareness that is concerning itself with all of the 44, 32, and 50 that's going on in this magic little spot that looks like a bow and arrow. If you draw a line out of it, it looks like the arrow. This is the shot into the spleen that gives us our survival awareness. Basically allow your spleen to be what it is and follow your strategy and authority, because the frequency of this awareness to bring the right values into the tribe to ensure its caring and ensure its survival is to know where the discipline is needed and where the rebellion is needed, just like you need to know where to corrupt the law or not, just like you need to know all of the other or nots, and including these ones.
Fantastic. Any final thoughts about the fifth line before we move on?
Dude, get over it already. People are attracted to you. Use that to your advantage. It's totally cool. Find your best friends and make sure they stay your best friends. Make sure they're your best friends, those good ones. Find them. Set up your rings to go out. Kick them out to the outer rings. You're on the outside now, baby, or somewhere in the middle. And recognize this gets used to your advantage all the time. A, by being yourself, and B, in this material plane, by accepting only the projections that are gonna make you have a good job or a good thing or a good payday or whatever. You can use this to your advantage. If it's time for a raise, the heretic can go in and ask for it. Stuff like that. Learn where you're listening too much. Learn when you shouldn't even be listening. That's the thing. Fourth lines can say, oh, I'll listen, and they get fatigued. Fifth lines will be like, I can't even hear that. Don't ask, don't tell, baby. Come on. Learn all of these things and learn where is it practical to be the one that's going to stand by your values, because that sometimes is a heretic and it brings the uniqueness that others don't want. Or you're a total clown and you deserve it. So one or the other.
If you'd like to book a human design reading with either Danny or myself, check out the QR code above, or I have the link down in the description box below. You can use code AWAKEN to save 10%. So if you want to hang out with us, learn a whole bunch about your chart, learn a whole bunch about your friends or family or whoever you want to talk about, we can have a lot of fun together. And I look forward to that. If you've been getting a lot out of our show or of our different videos that we share, check out the donation link. If you'd like to support and encourage us, I also have that down in the description box below. And as always, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, asking questions. We love having you, and we will catch you next week.
Awesome. Till the next time, everyone.